The Dallas International Film Festival received high praise for highlighting some of the top films of the year. Also being recognized, the Faulkner Design Festival Lounge. We'll meet the designer next on Prime. Hi, I'm Emily Hargrove and welcome back to Prime. So today I have a very special guest. Adrienne Faulkner, the CEO of Faulkner Design Group, is with us, and she has just finished the Faulkner Design Festival Lounge at the Dallas International Film Festival, and which received huge accolades.
Thank you.
And so I want to talk to you today about your design ethic, how you go into a space and create magic.
Well, that's very nice of you to say that we create magic.
You do.
We start with the space. As far as the lounge goes, we have to see who's been, nice enough to donate a space for us, because we really can't afford to rent any kind of space. And so the Angelica and the Mockingbird Station had a wonderful space that already had a lot of built-in architecture. So this year it was really fun because we had some great bones to work with. So we start with that, especially if it's the existing space. And then we start to look at the lighting, and we start to look at the things I've stored for 8+ years, or, and how to retool and reuse, and then who's willing to be participants. We've had ongoing sponsors. David Neal with ENS Lighting has been an amazing help, because lighting is everything. Because during the day, there's some functions, and then they change at night. You have to make it more clubby. So, things like that. And then we just see what we can drum up.
Well, this is the 6th year that you've done the Festival Lounge, and so and each year it's been different. Last year it had a very Indian feel.
We're highlighting Indian filmmakers.
Yes, and then this year it just had that really cool club feel, and and there's been a 20,000 square foot of space in previous years. And so, and bearing in mind, this is all done, I mean, you're a very lovely sponsor of the film festival, but I mean, this is all done on minimal budget, and you managed to create that. So, wow. Well,
the lucky thing is, we've been in business 20 years, and we purchase a lot of furnishings, accessories, and have wonderful vendors that we've used time and time again, and who said, yes, we will help you. Some of the draping, we weren't able to actually rent the draping, so I actually talked to one of my drapery vendors, and he said he'd be willing to do some of the draping for us. And so there's people that really work with you, and we couldn't do it without our sponsors. And that's wonderful. I feel very blessed that I have these people that I've been working with for many years, who I can call in and say, can you help me? And that particular vendor wasn't even in town. He lives in Nashville, so he wasn't even able to enjoy the festival.
Oh, wow.
So but someone like Darafiv, who we bought the billiards and things like that for years, then they were able to actually enjoy the festival.
Oh, they were.
And have some fun and go to some movies.
Yeah, so I saw you enjoying a festival lounge a few nights.
I was there.
Which, as you should be.
It was fun. All my friends were there, so it was kind of fun.
It was fun, and you created the space, so it's good to, actually take the time and enjoy it.
And it's nice to kind of see how it works, especially so you can make tweaks as the weeks and the days go on.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I mean, in my life, and my husband is the interior designer, I literally have to say yes to whatever he wants, because he's the one like, no, this has got to be here, this has got to be here. But I mean, one thing that really strikes me about you is that the work that you do is that every space I see that you do is always different. Outside of the festival lounges, in your high-rises, condos, in the senior living you do, everything is different, and that blows me away.
Oh, thank you.
Because how do you keep it fresh?
Well, it's interesting because we were talking earlier, and I think that every community, every project, we've done over 250,000 living units in 700 communities in about 32 states and counting. Anywhere from SRO, which is single resident occupancy at risk,
right.
There are people that have lost their jobs that could be on the streets, to student housing, to senior living, to high-rise condominiums, to some very high-end homes. And each has a unique geographical location. Each has a unique market. Each a target market. You have to look at who your competitor is. You have to look at the architecture and work with that, and work within the infrastructure of where it's going, and the fabric of the geography. So that's where we start. And then we start to create a kind of a mood and a storyline, and we pull pictures from all over the place. And we start to create that like we said, that storyline, and each one is like a child. They have a unique personality, and we try to make that come to life, and hopefully in the process we make a difference in people's lives.
Well, I would think you make a massive difference in people's lives, because where people live is, I mean, that's the difference between, it's home.
Absolutely.
And, you know, every person wants their own individual haven, don't they?
Absolutely.
So for you to create that one room, or a beautiful room at a time, or something. I'm trying to think of one lovely room at a time.
Well, it's not, you know, it's also, we are interior architects and interior designers, and you have to think of the whole entire space in three-dimensional. So we're doing a lot more 3D drawings to help, you know, create those kind of spaces. Revit is a software program. Been on Revit for 5 years, the first ID firm in the country to be on Revit. And it's a real smart kind of computer automated design program. So, you know, it's how it all comes together. It's not just furniture, it's not just paint, it's not just a fabric, you know.
Well, and for you too, because obviously you're not just in Texas, you're all over. And so, you know, creating the space that is geographically appropriate. How do you do that? I mean, do you go and spend different time in different places?
Absolutely. And I got to tell you, I have a wonderful, wonderful staff. I mean, it's my work family. We've been together. The average tenure is 13 to 17 years.
Wow.
You know, and it's really great when I actually have some, Ann and Karen are coming back from Florida, and they knew more about the competitors' projects than the actual client. You know, we've seen that one. Yes, we've seen that one. Or we've seen that hotel. Or yes, we've seen that country club. You know, so all that really makes a difference for who you're marketing to, because we have coined a term. Thank you. It's now a registered trademark. Design-driven marketing. Right. Because everything is about design. Yeah. If you think about Disney, they know exactly what they're doing. You know, you fall in love. Basically, you go to buy a car, you go to buy a house. Yep. You look at a skirt, you look at a scarf, you fall in love. It's basically, you know.
That's so true. Well, let's just look at a couple of the projects you know that you're very proud of. Obviously, in the 250,000 units, I'm sure you're proud of all of them. But there are some that will stick out in your mind. Which ones do you think? Let's talk about the 3 Arch Bay.
Well, that was fun because we don't do a lot of residential for single residential clients, but that was a long-term client of mine, a developer who only a developer could have developed at the very top of the hill at 3 Arch Bay in Laguna Beach. Took him 2 years to do 2 retaining walls, and it was just a very complicated project, but it's an amazing house. And so I was very fortunate in really hands-on helping to pick exterior materials and working on the floor plan and being a part of that, because that was fun. You know, it was fun, and I knew the client. We'd worked together on several large projects all throughout California and Colorado. So
yeah, it looks gorgeous. I was thinking I'd like to move there. Thanks.
Yes.
Now the Palomar, the residences at the Hotel Palomar. We've just been in there, you know, with our press suite for the festival, and everybody just walked in and was like, "Wow, this is amazing." But you've created the model homes, you know, for a few of the.
We did. Behringer Harvard brought us in, I think, when the building was finished, and wanted us to do some models very quickly. Actually, we did 2 or 3 within a month. And I think they all 3 sold lock, stock, and barrel, completely furnished within that month. We did another one, which I think is the one that you've used as your press.
Yes.
So that was a lot of fun, and the market was very different. We really tried to create different models that if one doesn't capture someone's attention, the other one will. So and again, look at the target market. It wasn't necessarily people from Highland Park. It was people who had a choice to live downtown, or have a choice to live in Addison, or have a choice to live in, you know, more urban areas.
And then, you know, you go, and they're quite high dollar amount condos, you know, for those ones specifically. But then, as you mentioned earlier about the SROs, for Hotel Berry, and is that in California? And so that's, you know, for at-risk individuals. So going from a high-dollar condo down to somewhere that's a studio, you know, I mean, the shift in how you make that shift in yourself.
And budgets. And, you know, senior living has very, very strict qualifications, especially for skilled care and dementia and Alzheimer's. And for SRO, for at-risk housing, you know, you have to have, you know, deal with antimicrobial and bed bugs and all that kind of things that you have to have indestructible furniture, because these are people who would have been on the streets or who even have been on the streets. And so this is a nonprofit that's very close to one of my clients' hearts. He started it, David Wood, out of California.
Wow.
So Jamboree Housing.
So you have to dig deep in order to find out, to really, as you say, you learn about the bed bugs, you learn about things that you would never learn about doing a project, you know, for condos or...
Well, and that's, you brought up a good point that a lot of our competitors, we have competed with single individual decorators to Gensler, to Perkins and Eastman, large firms.
Yeah.
And what sets us apart is that we do go do the research. I'm a lead green associate. We're constantly doing research and development. We're sourcing, whether it's global sourcing, Vietnam and Indonesia, or whether it's local sourcing. It's whatever's best and whatever's holistically and sustainably proper, right? And we try to lead by example, and we try to have good stewardship for our clients and treat their money well.
Right.
There's people, you know, you can look at this bowl and you can find almost the same thing in a huge variety of price points. But we don't just stop when we find the one thing we think is right. We have to work with the budgets.
Well, so you're quite literally, it's couture for interior design across all budgets.
Yes, absolutely.
It really.
Absolutely.
And so how do you yourself balance being a CEO and then wanting to get, you know, down and dirty, get your hands dirty doing the projects? Because, I mean, that you can't be in all of these different places at once. So how do you do that?
I have, like I said, I have a great work family. And I said, just infuse me a little bit, because I do have to do that, that design. And really what I'm very passionate about is making a difference in people's lives. And like I said, leading by example. So we're creating some smart products. With the 20 years of business and the 30 to 40 projects we do a year, I realized that I can actually go out and create smart products for my clients. And that's what I'm trying to do, and which will make it a win-win-win for everybody. So, you know, they'll pull me in. I'm like, please, I need to have a little bit of that design.
Dude.
But again, my name is on the door. I do take the risk, and it used to be harder. After 20 years now, I don't get scared if it's a little slow, and I don't freak out that we're not going to be able to handle the business if we're really busy. I've kind of leveled off, you know.
Well, you have to learn to delegate at some point.
Absolutely, and I have just an amazing team that has done an amazing job, and I don't have to worry. They're the ones that I can like fall back and they'll catch me. You know?
Well, isn't that wonderful that you have that? It's the Faulkner Design Group family.
Absolutely.
Now, just wrapping up, what's on the horizon for you?
Oh, well, that's what we're trying to drill down. I have a lot of ideas. I'm very passionate about what I want to do. I have some big idea projects, and I have some short-term projects. The short-term, we're working on some wonderful new developments around the city. For Forest City, we're doing, I think you've seen the Highline project that's like the Heights of Park Lane, but the product development, we're going to do Faulkner Smart Products. I have some universal type ideas that we want to do for our units so that they can be repositioned for whether it's a 5-year-old or someone in a wheelchair or an able-bodied person. Things that work for everybody.
And we need to bring you back on because you have got so much to talk about, Adrienne Faulkner. And unfortunately,
anyway,
we have run out of time. And so, Adrienne, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
FaulknerDesign.com. Go find her. She's amazing. Thank you. Join us next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, you're fun.